healthcare rollout. Joining me now, Chuck Todd, NBC News political director, chief White House correspondent and host of the Daily Rundown, and Robert Gibbs, MSNBC contributor and, of course, former White House press secretary. Welcome both. First to you, Chuck, and to the poll numbers. Right. These numbers not good for the White House, and as you point out in our new poll, healthcare was the big driver. It is. It is the singular driver. I mean, it is amazing how everything about the president is being judged through the prism of healthcare. For instance, his job approval numbers in the economy went down, and yet the public's perception of where the economy is headed went up. And so just that alone tells you how healthcare and this rollout and the botched rollout of the website is contributing to everything. And of course, you know, Andrea, I'm stacking this on top of that focus group that we did last week, which also, you felt that, and that was with mostly Obama voters who were reacting so much through due to health care. And when you look at everything, you know, the president's leadership qualities, everything has gone down having to do with sort of the criteria that people believe presidents should have when it comes to just simply doing the job. And you can see that it is all being funneled through the issue of health care. And at the same time, Congress, so unpopular, overwhelmingly unpopular. 51% think it's one of the worst Congresses ever. It's a dog bites man story, a little bit. Yeah. Robert, when you look at these numbers, the other piece of that is who should control Congress. The generic number has gone to the Republicans for the first time in 3 years, and there was a big switch in just the last 2 months. So obviously 2 months ago, the shutdown was driving numbers down for Republicans, but now healthcare has rebalanced that, and it's hurting Democrats. I think there's several important points. Obviously, these numbers are almost completely flipped from what we saw at the beginning of the year, confirming just how tough and just how dismal political year it's been for the White House and for this administration, driven, as Chuck said, primarily by health care. And I think Chuck's point is really important on the notion that even though economic perceptions are becoming more optimistic for the American people, when you look at Democrats versus Republicans on the economy, Republicans now have a pretty distinct advantage in terms of the numbers. And you mentioned, you know, what will determine the outcome of the last 2 years of this administration might well be whether the Senate is controlled by Republicans. And if these numbers hold up, it's going to be very, very tough to get around that and see somehow that Democrats retain the Senate or have a reasonable chance of winning the House. So now what does the White House do to